Anna had just stepped into her house when she discovered her husband, Jack's cheating. She immediately took out her phone and captured the scene of Jack in bed with his mistress, Bess. Afterward, she announced her decision to divorce Jack. However, Jack showed disdain toward Anna, telling her that if she left him, she would never be able to have a child. It turned out that the company's shareholders required Anna to have a child in order to inherit the company. To have a child, Anna immediately instructed her assistant to find her a physically strong male model. That night, as Anna was sipping on red wine, Eric walked into the room. Anna asked Eric if he had any issues with fertility, and in response, Eric pulled her into his arms and replied, "Try and you'll know." With that, he picked her up and tossed her onto the bed. The two shared a passionate kiss and spent an unforgettable night together. The next morning, Anna received a call from her assistant, who informed her that the CEO of Vision Group had returned to the country and was now in the city. Anna was overjoyed, as she had always wanted to collaborate with Vision Group. She handed Eric $100,000, arranged a modeling gig for him, and then left coldly. Anna went to the CEO's office to express her desire for collaboration, but the CEO didn't even look at her, leaving Anna feeling very disappointed. Determined, Anna handed him an invitation to her company's celebration banquet, hoping to use the opportunity to showcase her company's strength. However, she had no idea that the CEO was none other than Eric, the man she had spent the night with just the evening before. Even more surprising was the fact that all of this was part of Eric's carefully orchestrated plan. He had bribed Anna's assistant and disguised himself as a male model to get close to her. 5 years ago, Eric, who was then an overweight man, had accidentally saved Anna from drowning. But his half-brother, Jack, in an attempt to marry into Anna's family, had ruthlessly arranged for Eric to be driven out of their home. Unaware of the truth, Anna had mistaken Jack for her savior when she woke up and naturally ended up marrying him. Over the past 5 years, Eric had worked tirelessly to rise through the ranks, eventually becoming the CEO of Vision Group. His appearance had undergone a dramatic transformation, and he was no longer the chubby man from 5 years ago. This time, Eric returned not only to reclaim the woman he had loved for 5 years, but also to seek revenge against his half-brother Jack, who had driven him away. That night, Eric suddenly appeared at Anna's doorstep. As soon as Anna opened the door, Eric pulled her into his arms and kissed her passionately. Anna reminded Eric that there were cameras in the room, but that only made him more excited. He picked her up and placed her on the bed. While kissing Anna, Eric asked if she still had feelings for her ex-husband Jack. Anna reminded Eric about the nature of their relationship and warned him not to interfere too much in her personal life. That night, the two once again shared a sweet and passionate evening together. On the night of Anna's company's celebration banquet, her ex-husband Jack and his mistress Bess also attended. Bess tried to provoke Anna and deliberately spilled wine on her dress. Anna, unwilling to back down, retaliated by throwing a glass of wine directly at Bess's face. Jack stepped in to defend Bess, mocking Anna for her inability to have children, only to receive a fierce kick from Anna. Enraged, Bess contacted someone to plot against Anna, intending to ruin her reputation at her own company banquet. Anna's assistant took her to the CEO's lounge to change clothes. Shortly after, Eric walked in and locked the door behind him. He helped Anna zip up her dress and then embraced her from behind, kissing her deeply. Anna pushed him away, sternly warning him not to misbehave there. Eric, however, grew bolder, pressing Anna against the wall and kissing her again before pulling down her dress. Anna began to resist, but the commotion was so loud that it caught the attention of her ex-husband Jack outside. Jack banged on the door like a madman. Anna felt a little flustered, but Eric reassured her that everything would be fine. When Jack managed to get a key and was about to open the door, Eric quickly turned and held the door shut with Anna, completely blocking Jack's entry. At that moment, Jack assumed Anna was having an affair with a male model and flew into a rage. He kicked the door and even called others to break it down. However, Anna's assistant arrived just in time and reminded Jack that this was Vision Group's CEO's private room. Hearing this, Jack immediately calmed down. Inside the room, Anna was still worried about the possibility of Jack breaking in, but to her surprise, Eric revealed a surveillance video that captured Bess conspiring to sabotage Anna. Enraged, Anna vowed to confront Bess. As soon as she opened the door, she was shocked to see her ex-husband Jack kneeling on the ground. After hearing from company colleagues that Eric was merely a male model, Jack immediately stood up and accused Anna of being immoral and having an affair behind his back. Anna, however, couldn't care less about Jack's accusations. She delivered a swift kick to his most sensitive area before turning and leaving without a second glance. Eric immediately fired the gossiping employee and instructed his assistant to keep his identity strictly confidential, ensuring that Anna wouldn't find out. Meanwhile, Anna received maliciously edited, inappropriate photos of herself. Furious, she swore to take revenge on Bess. Anna and Eric returned to the banquet hall, just as Jack and Bess entered together. Jack publicly humiliated Anna, demanding that she kneel and apologize to him. He even tried to strike Anna, but Eric stepped in just in time to stop him. Eric stood firmly by Anna's side, shielding her from Jack's insults. At this moment, Bess smugly stepped forward, claiming that Anna's scandalous bedroom photos had been exposed. All eyes turned to the large screen, but as the images appeared, Bess was horrified to discover that the compromising photos were of herself. Jack immediately suspected that Anna was behind this and, in a fit of rage, attempted to strike her. However, Eric once again intervened, taking the blow meant for Anna. Moved by Eric's actions, Anna gently pulled him away from the banquet hall. She expressed her gratitude to Eric and promised to help him secure more resources and opportunities in the future. The next day, during a company meeting, several shareholders deliberately made things difficult for Anna, demanding that she must have a child within a year since the CEO of Vision Group did not attend. Under such pressure, Anna made up her mind to be with Eric every day from now on to get pregnant as soon as possible. Anna went to Eric's photo shoot location to find him. While she was lost in admiring Eric's handsome appearance, she accidentally fell into the pool. Without hesitation, Eric jumped into the water and saved her. As Anna looked at Eric, she suddenly remembered the moment 5 years ago when she almost drowned. Eric took Anna to the room and gently dried her hair. As he slowly leaned in, about to kiss her, a phone call interrupted the moment. It was Anna's grandmother, calling to check on her and expressing her hope that Anna and Jack would have a child soon so she could have a grandchild to hold. Eric stood nearby, teasing Anna on purpose, making her so embarrassed that her cheeks turned red. At that moment, Anna realized she was starting to develop feelings for Eric. Seeing Anna in his clothes, Eric leaned closer to her and softly said that he would help her have a child. With that, he tenderly kissed her. Photos of Anna and Eric's alleged affair were leaked online. Anna's cousin Linda secretly rejoiced, seeing this as a perfect opportunity to bring her cousin down. She immediately brought the news to their grandmother. Upon seeing the report, Anna's grandmother was so furious that she was hospitalized. Anna rushed to the hospital to visit her grandmother. As soon as she entered the ward, her grandmother questioned her about Jack's whereabouts and demanded to know whether the reports were true. Anna tried to dodge the questions, but Linda pointed at her and berated her, calling her a disgrace to the family. At that moment, Jack suddenly appeared and surprisingly stood on Anna's side. He denied the rumors and helped clear Anna's name. Afterward, Anna pulled Jack outside, insisting that he leave. However, Jack grabbed Anna's hand and tried to convince her to stay with him. Just then, Eric appeared, stepping in to pry Jack's hand away. Enraged, Jack accused Anna of betraying him and insulted Eric, calling him lowborn. Without hesitation, Anna stood firmly by Eric's side and coldly mocked Jack, saying that in terms of appearance, physique, and capability, he was far inferior to Eric. Hearing this, Jack was so infuriated that he fainted on the spot. Eric, touched by Anna standing up for him, gently cupped her face and kissed her lips. Though Anna was a bit shy, she couldn't hold back her feelings and returned the kiss. Eric held Anna's hand and placed it on himself, making Anna blush deeply before she quickly left in embarrassment. Afterward, Eric contacted someone and arranged for Jack to be taught a lesson. Jack was beaten so badly that it left him in terrible shape. Humiliated and enraged, Jack vowed to find out who was behind it. One day, while Anna was working in her office, Eric suddenly appeared. Anna wrapped her arms around Eric's neck and softly said that this wasn't the place for such behavior. However, Eric pulled her into his arms and presented her with a precious ring. Anna noticed that it was the latest design launched by Vision Group and began questioning Eric about where he got the money for it. At that moment, Jack suddenly barged into Anna's office. He angrily pointed at Anna, claiming that she could only belong to him, and threatened her, saying that if she didn't kneel and apologize, he would bankrupt her company. Eric, sitting calmly nearby, softly reassured Anna, telling her that everything would be fine as long as he was there. Anna stood up, walked over to Jack, and slapped him hard across the face. Furious, Jack raised his hand to strike her back, but Eric quickly intervened. He retaliated and gave Jack a taste of his own medicine, making him pay for insulting Anna. Just then, Anna's assistant entered the room and announced that Vision Group had just agreed to collaborate with her company. Overjoyed, Anna was ecstatic at the news, but Jack sneered, sarcastically accusing her of using underhanded means to secure the deal. Eric once again stepped in to defend Anna. During their argument, Eric unintentionally mentioned that Jack was an illegitimate child, causing Jack to begin questioning Eric's true identity. After the confrontation, Anna expressed her gratitude to Eric for always protecting her. In return, Eric confessed his sincere feelings for her with a deep and passionate kiss. Today was Anna's grandmother's birthday banquet. Her cousin Linda intentionally brought up the rumors about Anna and Eric, claiming that their relationship had been caught by Jack, and even revealing that Anna and Jack had already divorced. Just as Anna was at a loss for how to respond to her grandmother, Jack appeared to cover for her, claiming that he and Anna were still together. At that moment, Eric suddenly arrived, presenting Anna's grandmother with an antique vase. Seeing that Eric was just a model, the guests ridiculed him and doubted the authenticity of the vase. Jack immediately called in an expert to evaluate it, and the results confirmed that it was indeed a genuine antique vase worth $100 million. The crowd then began to suspect that Eric might have stolen the vase. Jack even ordered people to arrest Eric, but Anna quickly intervened to stop them. Eric chuckled coldly, subtly hinting that some of Jack's dirty secrets would eventually come to light. This infuriated Jack, who demanded to know Eric's true identity, but Eric responded by kicking Jack to the ground. At that moment, Anna's assistant arrived with urgent news. The rumors about Anna and Eric had spread online, causing the company's stock prices to plummet. Anna's uncle, who was also a shareholder in the company, seized the opportunity to demand that Anna resign and hand over the company to him. Fortunately, Eric quietly took action to resolve the crisis. Not long after, bodyguards brought Linda into the room, and she confessed to her wrongdoing. Anna seized the moment to threaten her uncle, warning that if he didn't return the company shares, she would send Linda to prison. Forced into a corner, her uncle reluctantly agreed. However, both he and Linda were filled with resentment and secretly began plotting revenge against Anna. The next day, Anna's uncle came to the company and informed her that he had arranged a meeting with Benno to discuss a potential collaboration. For the sake of the company's development, Anna had no choice but to agree. That evening, as Anna finished work and was preparing to head to the meeting, Eric was already waiting outside for her. He pulled her into his arms and kissed her, asking her to stay with him that night. However, Anna explained that she had a business engagement and would return later. Eric, feeling uneasy, decided to quietly follow her. Anna arrived at a karaoke bar to meet with Benno. During the meeting, Benno forced Anna to drink, but when she refused and tried to leave, he violently shoved her onto the table. He then grabbed a wine bottle and struck her on the head, leaving her dazed and disoriented. At that critical moment, Eric suddenly appeared. He charged forward and beat Benno to the point where he couldn't fight back. Without hesitation, Eric picked up the injured Anna and rushed her to the hospital. Soon after, Anna's grandmother and uncle arrived at the hospital. Furious, Eric exposed the truth, that it was Anna's uncle who had arranged this dangerous meeting, which ultimately led to Anna's injury and hospitalization. Upon hearing this, Anna's grandmother was enraged and immediately slapped her uncle in anger. She then sincerely thanked Eric for saving Anna and invited him to their home as a guest. After investigating, Eric discovered that it was Anna's uncle who had hired Benno to frame her. He quietly gathered all the evidence, waiting for the right time to expose the truth. Today, Eric was invited to Anna's house as a guest, and Anna personally cooked a meal for everyone. However, just as Anna's grandmother took a sip of the soup, she suddenly collapsed. It turned out that Anna's uncle had secretly poisoned the soup Anna prepared. The uncle immediately accused Anna, claiming that she had poisoned her grandmother. He threatened her, saying that if she handed over the company, he would not pursue the matter further. Eric remained calm, pointing out that the uncle did not care about the grandmother's life at all, and that his real goal was to seize the company. At that moment, the grandmother suddenly regained consciousness. Hearing her nephew's conspiracy, she was furious and firmly declared that she would never hand the company over to him. Eric then presented all the evidence he had collected, proving that it was the uncle who framed Anna and revealing that he was the one who poisoned the soup. Desperate and cornered, the uncle snapped and grabbed a knife, charging at Anna. In the critical moment, Eric threw himself in front of Anna, shielding her from the fatal blow with his own body. Anna was terrified and burst into tears. She quickly rushed Eric to the hospital. At the hospital, Anna looked at Eric, who had risked his life for her, and was deeply moved. She thanked him with all her heart but also couldn't hold back her questions, asking Eric about his true identity. Eric didn't answer directly. Instead, he kissed her, asking her to give him some time to handle everything, promising that he would reveal the whole truth to her soon. After Anna left the hospital room, Eric's grandfather suddenly appeared. He demanded that Eric marry someone of equal status and not get involved with Anna, who was the ex-wife of his half-brother. Despite the pressure from his grandfather, Eric firmly stated that he loved Anna and hoped his grandfather would respect his choice. In the days that followed, Anna personally cooked for Eric, carefully preparing the dishes he loved, while Eric always thoughtfully gifted her little things she liked. The two spent more and more time together, and their relationship deepened with each passing day. On the day of the company's shareholder meeting, Anna's grandmother officially announced that Anna would be the company's new chairperson. As Anna was delivering her inauguration speech, Linda suddenly barged in and publicly revealed a set of photos allegedly showing Anna's affair, sparking a wave of gossip among the attendees. At that moment, Jack also appeared and claimed that the person in the photos was actually him. After the meeting, an enraged Jack stormed up to Eric, accusing him of stealing Anna and demanding answers. However, Eric quickly put Jack in his place by knocking him to the ground with a swift kick. Jack then attempted to beg Anna for forgiveness, but Anna coldly rejected him and walked away without a second glance, holding Eric's hand. Back at home, Anna decided to confess to her grandmother that she had already divorced Jack. Much to Anna's surprise, her grandmother wasn't angry at all. She was overjoyed. She even voiced her support for Anna and Eric's relationship and went so far as to prepare nourishing supplements in the hope that Anna and Eric would soon have a child together. In their room, Anna asked Eric to take off his shirt so she could check if he was injured. Looking at Anna's concerned expression, Eric couldn't hold back any longer and confessed his love to her, telling her how deeply he cared for her and promising to always protect her. Overwhelmed with emotion, the two shared a sweet and passionate kiss, eventually spending a beautiful and unforgettable night together. That day, while Anna was busy working, Eric showed up with a prepared meal for her. He thoughtfully offered to feed her, but before she could take a bite, Anna suddenly felt nauseous and began to vomit. Eric immediately suspected that she might be pregnant and suggested accompanying her to the hospital the next day for a checkup. The following day, as the two were preparing to leave, Eric's grandfather suddenly arrived. Eric came up with an excuse, saying he had something urgent to handle, and Anna reassured him that she could go to the hospital on her own. When the test results came out, Anna confirmed that she was indeed pregnant. She was overwhelmed with joy, unable to contain her excitement. However, as she was settling the medical bills, she unexpectedly ran into Jack. Jack noticed the test report in her hands and snatched it away. When he saw the confirmation of her pregnancy, he became furious and demanded to know who the father of the child was. Anna didn't respond and quickly walked away, leaving Jack standing there, his face turning pale with rage, fuming with anger. That night, Jack was drinking alone at a bar to drown his sorrows when Beth showed up. Jack coldly told Beth to leave, making it clear that he would never marry her. Shortly afterward, Jack overheard a conversation between Eric and his grandfather, finally learning Eric's true identity. It turned out that Eric was Jack's half-brother and, even more shockingly, the CEO of Vision Group. Upon discovering the truth, Jack immediately went to find Anna. He knelt before her, begging for her forgiveness and pleading for her to come back to him. However, Anna didn't hesitate to reject him outright. In desperation, Jack revealed Eric's identity as the CEO. At that moment, Eric appeared. Jack seized the opportunity to expose more, pointing out that Eric was his brother and that the only reason Eric got close to Anna was to take revenge on him. Anna was shocked and furious, unable to accept what she had just learned. She turned around and walked away. Eric hurried after her, trying to explain, but Anna wouldn't listen. With tears streaming down her face, she accused Eric of deceiving and hiding the truth from her. Heartbroken, Eric pulled her into his arms, pleading with her for forgiveness and assuring her that his feelings for her were genuine. However, Anna pushed him away, her eyes filled with disappointment and resolve. She coldly told him that she never wanted to see him again and then turned and walked away, leaving Eric standing there, devastated. Eric was heartbroken and turned to alcohol to drown his sorrows. Seeing his pain, his assistant urged him not to give up and to find Anna and explain everything to her. The next day, Eric tried calling Anna, but her phone was unreachable. Sensing something was wrong, Eric immediately went to Anna's house, only to find that she wasn't there. Just then, Bess called him, informing him that Anna was in her hands and warning him not to call the police. In an abandoned house, Anna woke up and was shocked to discover that her kidnapper was none other than Bess. At that moment, Eric arrived at the scene, but Bess held a knife pointed at him, threatening to harm Anna if he came any closer. Shortly after, Jack also arrived and tried to persuade Bess to stop before it was too late. It turned out that the root of everything was Bess's jealousy toward Anna. Bess hated Jack for abandoning her, and in her fury, she revealed a shocking truth. It was Eric who had saved Anna from drowning years ago. Eric took this moment to confess his feelings to Anna, admitting that he had fallen in love with her a long time ago. Anna was moved to tears, feeling regretful for having misunderstood Eric in the past. Jack also apologized to Anna and placed the blame squarely on Bess for causing all the chaos. At this critical moment, Bess suddenly pulled out a lighter and set the entire room on fire, with the flames spreading rapidly. Without hesitation, Eric rushed into the inferno and freed Anna from her restraints. As the two were about to escape the fire, Bess picked up a wooden stick and struck Eric hard. Despite the pain, Eric gritted his teeth and used all his strength to protect Anna. Meanwhile, Bess escaped the burning house but was soon caught by men sent by Eric's grandfather. In the end, Eric carried Anna out of the fire and rushed her to the hospital for treatment. At the hospital, Eric gazed sorrowfully at the unconscious Anna. To him, her life was his life, and all he wished for was her safe recovery. Seeing Eric's deep love and devotion to Anna, his grandfather was finally moved and decided to stop opposing their relationship. He even promised to support their marriage. At that moment, Anna slowly opened her eyes. The doctor informed everyone that both Anna and her unborn baby were safe. Hearing the good news, Eric was overwhelmed with emotion. Eric then took out the diamond ring he had prepared long ago, knelt on one knee, and proposed to Anna. Moved to tears, Anna nodded and accepted his proposal. After enduring countless trials and tribulations, Eric and Anna finally embraced their happiness. Holding each other's hands tightly, they shared a deep, passionate kiss, embarking on a brand new journey together.